Hey guys, got a new video for you. We're going to be covering the JVC KS-DR2104DBT. It's a 4-channel Bluetooth amplifier, and it comes with a dedicated remote here, a wired-in remote, and this will eliminate the need of a head unit. So you don't need a head unit. All you need is a device that can pair to it with Bluetooth, such as your phone here. And that was the plan with this. Instead of using the Woozy Audio HE or the AS21P amp, I am going to just do a actual conventional setup. Now my thought was that I was just going to run this and run the front channels at 2 ohm, so I could run the 2 pairs of sundown speakers, and then bridge the rear channel, the other 2 channels, and run them at 4 ohm and run it to a subwoofer. But I got to thinking, all of my subs are dual 4 ohm, and I really don't want to wire to 8 ohm or whatever, and I really don't want to use just one coil. And I do have the JBL sub with the selectable switch for 4 ohm or 2 ohm, but it can't really take the power in the transmission line, and that's the issue. So what I'm going to do is, even though I've already ordered this, I'm going to run a head unit and all that stuff, and we're just going to unbox this, and I'm probably going to list this up for sale or give it to somebody or something like that, because I'm not going to use this. But anyways, let's get to unboxing this, and then I'll further explain why I'm not going to use this, but why this would work well for someone who doesn't want to run a head unit, or if you have a side-by-side or whatever. This is really what this is for. It's for like side-by-sides and all that kind of stuff, or like a boat and whatnot. But it would work great for a Bluetooth 2.1 setup, or whatever you want to do if you don't want to run a head unit, as I've been saying. I know a lot of people with classic cars use these. So because all you have to do is just hook it up like a normal amp, except you don't need to run any RCA cables. So, and you just pair it with your phone and you're good to go. So that was already about 3 minutes of babbling there. So here's the specs on the box. And Kenwood has their own version of this. I believe is about $100 more. I think I picked this up for around $150 or $170 or so shipped, brand new. And I think the Kenwood's a bit more, but these do the same power, if I'm not mistaken. So really with the Kenwood, you're just paying for the name. But whatever. If you didn't know, JVC and Kenwood are one and the same company, more or less. So here's some more specs. Probably all the same stuff that was on the top, but you know, if this thing was 2 ohm stable bridged, that would be awesome, because then I would probably give this amp a try. But since it's not 2 ohm stable bridged, and what I said previously, and another reason that I'll get to here in a minute, I'm not going to run it. But these are waterproof to like 3 feet for a little while, I think. And again, you can see the Kenwood version on Kenwood's YouTube, or JVC's YouTube, or I think 5 Star Car Stereo did a review and dyno of this, and I know Big D did a dyno of the Kenwood version, and as I said, it does more or less almost twice as much power as rated. So here's the user manual with some mounting hardware, and here is the amp. Let me pause this and start getting this out because it's hard to do one-handed. Alright, that's everything out of the box there. It came with another box. This is probably the controller and then the amp itself. So let's try this first here. Now, I think this controller is about 8 feet long. And then it comes with a mounting cup if you want to flush trim it into something. And that's what the sticky tape is for, so you can stick it to the back of this flat section if you don't want to screw it in using that hole there. And then it also has, I believe, on the controller itself, it has a 1/4-20 thread, so you can use it on a GoPro mount or something like that. But let me set you down again. Okay, this plug is waterproof, so that's nice. Okay, here's the controller. Yeah, there's that socket right there for the 1/4-20 thread. Okay, so here's the controller. Now, with this controller, you can pretty much do everything. The volume, turn the unit on, pause, play, pairing, next track, previous track, and it has 7 EQ presets. And then if you hold in this button, you can access the RCA output and control the, I believe it's the gain on it, more or less. So if you use this in a 2.1 setup, you can use the RCA out, connect it to a sub amp, and then set your gain on the sub amp. And then if you want to control the sub amp bass, kind of like a volume knob, you could select this and then turn that up and down. I believe that's what more or less it is. I don't know what else you would use it for, you know, so. And then in conjunction, you can go back and that would allow you to control both, and you can fine tune it so you don't want so much bass, yada yada. So the volume knob sticks out quite a bit, and they say that's so if you're wearing gloves when you're riding or whatever, you can easily grab it and turn it. And that's true. It's pretty bulky. It clicks. Probably won't be able to hear that, but it has a click increment. And I believe this is, what do you want to call it? Like infinite volume or whatever, where it just keeps spinning and spinning. So you can, once you max out the volume, that's it. So, and when you're paired, I believe this controls your phone volume. So basically, you can use your phone volume or this to control the volume. So whatever. I don't know if I like that because I mean, what if you're like blasting full tilt and you get a phone call and, you know, whatever. I don't know. After I bought this, I kind of started to think about why I may not need this. And then what really sets, okay, so why I'm not going to be running this is because the EQ function. They say it has 7 presets, but on all the videos, they more or less say the presets are useless, that they don't change the sound at all, more or less. I have no way of knowing that because I've not seen them on a scope or a RTA or anything, so I really don't know if the presets do change anything, but it's rock, loud, classical, pop, you know, those types of presets. I think powerful is another one, you know. So, and then flat. Now, I'm assuming flat would probably sound okay. I don't know. I mean, there's only so much you can do, you know. If you want to EQ this, you're going to have to use your phone EQ or the music player you use in EQ. And what happens is if you adjust the bass, the EQ will lower the treble and mid, so you're not clipping. And that kind of stuff is so hard to set up right and to get it to sound proper. You know, you can only find a good middle ground. And what I'm afraid is I won't be able to utilize so much volume out of this with the sub amp hooked up as well. You know what I'm saying? Without the EQ, I might not be able to make it sound good is what I'm basically getting at. You know, when you're riding on an ATV or a motorcycle, having an EQ may not be exactly the top priority since you really just want loud music that you can overhear with the wind. I'm going to be in a van. I'm in my work van right now doing this. This is what it's all going in. So no wind, with no EQ, and only having my phone as the EQ, and the issue with it lowering whatever you raise, it'll lower other frequencies so it doesn't clip, and that'll take away your volume. So that's why I'm not going to run this. But yeah, anyways, let's get to unboxing the rest of this here. But while I'm at it, what I am going to be doing is running a deck, as I said. I have a JP8 monoblock that should be here tomorrow. It does probably close to 1,000 RMS at 2 ohm. And that should be plenty of power for the sub. I have the X8 V4 in right now. I may put the SA V3 back in, I don't know, but I'm going to have the deck, so a dedicated deck like normal. I think I'm going to go with the Pioneer 720 BHS. And I'm just going to run it in standard mode. No active. I might go with a different, I might go with a 4-channel, not this one, obviously, because it has no connections for that. Or I might just run it off deck power, I don't know, and just have this JP8 sub amp and run everything on deck power. I don't know yet. Probably not, because I've never ran anything on deck power. I've actually always ran active, but I don't have the speakers to, I don't have any dedicated drivers to run an active setup right now. So, and this is in my work van. I'm not doing all that fancy shit. So this is I've already spent like $1,000 just on a stereo system on a fucking work van. That's already ridiculous enough. So let me unbox this, get this plastic off 1 second. Okay. So here's the amp itself. Pretty small, maybe, what is that? Less than 8 inches across, maybe 4 inches over width. Here's your RCA outs, your plugs, your wires, your speaker wires, left, right, back, rear, whatever, yada yada. Your power and your ground. Comes with a 40 amp fuse. Even though this amp does a bit more than the 400 RMS or whatever it claims. These do, at 4 ohms times 4, I think these will do around 90 RMS. And then at 2 ohms times 4, like 150 or something. You'll have to watch the videos. Watch the Kenwood video or the 5-Star Car Stereo video. Or the Big D Wiz video, I mean. And these all have a cover on them. This is a cover here. But this is what it looks the same underneath this. This is just a silk screen. Has your crossover settings, your left, right, fader, and your channel 1, 2. And then output, if you're going to run that in 2-channel mode or 3-channel mode. So yeah, relatively small, compact, does quite a good of power. I hear it runs pretty hot. Obviously, I mean, it's sealed up. What do you expect? But in most cases, these would be used outside and the wind would be getting to them, so they wouldn't really get that hot on an ATV or something like that compared to inside of a car. So that is something to consider. So yeah, this is just an unboxing on this, even though I've been rambling on about the system I want to build instead of this. I should have thought about it a little bit more, but you know, whenever I was watching, there's not a whole lot out there for Bluetooth amplifiers with a controller. All the others are just, you know, the Bluetooth amp and you connect with your phone, but at least with this controller, you can control the volume. And, you know, the buttons, pause, play, and all that stuff. You don't have to mess with your phone. So, as I said, this would be great for, you know, side-by-sides or classic cars, muscle cars that don't want to run a head unit. You can hide this, just run your controller up. You know, you might be able to hide this in the back of the dash in some older vehicles. So, yeah. But back to the system I'm going to be running. Yeah. So I have the JP8 coming tomorrow, so we'll get a video on that as well. And I'm just going to be slowly piecing that system together. So I've got the JP8 coming in, and really, if I'm going to, I need to get the head unit coming. If I want to run a 4-channel, I need to get it coming, so I'm going to be looking at other 4 channels. I may even go with the non-Bluetooth version of this, since it does good power and they're relatively cheap. But who knows? Yeah, I'll get that Pioneer ordered. I still got to order a power cable and fuses and all that other various bull crap. But yeah, this was going to be the new 2.1 Bluetooth system, but I don't think I'm going to run this. Yeah. I might keep it just to have it around, and maybe one day I will do it, and I'll do a video on that, of course, but for now, this was just a long, drawn-out unboxing of the JVC, whatever the hell it's called. I don't know why these companies have to have these long names. So, maybe in the future I can just wire this up to the battery real quick and pair it, and we can listen to it, but that'll be another video in the future. Alright guys, I've been rambling for about 20 minutes this whole video, so hope you guys like it. This is the JVC Bluetooth amp. Have a good one.